All right. So now let's move on to Charlotte. The Hornets.
There.
I guess the biggest thing here is that the Miles
Starting five
Bridges
first.
situation. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Miles Bridges situation. But the starting five, Lamelo. I think Lamelo, Rozier, Hayward. Uh, yeah, PJ and Mason. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
Jalen starts over PJ and then PJ comes off the bench because they like doing that. Or maybe or maybe Oubre starts. But I think either PJ or Jalen starts in the power forward position. That's the only unsure thing for me. The rest, I think, is pretty much set.
Yeah. I agree with that starting five. Lamelo, Rozier, Hayward, PJ, and Plumlee. I'm not sure if that's gonna last until the end of the season because Plumlee is, Plumlee. He's boring and I don't see any upside. They might need a better partner for Lamelo now that you mentioned Miles Bridges is gone. Well, I'm assuming he's gone. I wrote that I think he's not gonna play this season. So maybe they get the young Mark Williams there as a starter next time. But for now, I think it's the starting five.
Yeah. Rozier, we talked about Rozier last episode. He has been surprising, so far past 2 years. I mean, even last year he was drafted a little higher, but still surprised a bit for many. How do you see this? Because Lamelo, we all know is going to be a first rounder, probably up there as a first rounder. Rozier, we still don't know. Another player who's hard to value as well.
Rozier's always underrated. He's always undervalued. He's 50 something right now, and I think even at 50 something, that's kind of low for him. He's always been top 30 the past few years, top 35 at the very least. So I think he will not go there. He will always be there available at the 50s. Because remember, at the 40s to 50s, there was a big man run. People pick big men
Yeah.
because, right, everybody's looking for that. That's why Rozier drops. And if you got your big man early, get Rozier at the 50s, still good value. I think he can continue to be a third rounder this year, especially with Miles Bridges gone and Hayward criminally
Is it
always
safe to say
injured.
Hayward's the guy you stay away from?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. I would say Hayward.
If
He's
if
going up.
Rozier is the undervalued guy, I think Hayward's the overvalued player.
The problem with Hayward is is rising up the ranks because of Miles Bridges' absence, and people look at the depth chart like, so who's gonna who's gonna take the points, the stats from the usage from Miles Bridges, and they look at Gordon Hayward, but
But I see
he
PJ Washington doing more load,
yeah.
getting more runs. Even Jalen McDaniels getting more runs. Oubre would probably be the same. Oubre has been, for the past couple of years, has been limited to being a spot up shooter, or an outside shooter, not really a guy who plays the pick and roll. So I think PJ and Jalen McDaniels would be the two guys to watch out for here. They
Yeah.
play small as well from time to time, so PJ could play alongside Jalen. It's just that the chemistry between them and the Melo, we don't know.
Just I picked PJ over Gordon Hayward. They're beside each other in the ranks, but no way should Gordon Hayward be picked over PJ. PJ should go first, even if he scores less. He just does more, and he's not as always injured as Gordon Hayward. But my question to you is, Gordon is at 104. Does that tempt you? Does that like make you think like
Yeah, it does.
104?
It does.
That's the problem, right? That's the
It
problem. That's
does. I mean,
exactly the situation.
104 might be, if he drops to past 110, which is not too far out.
Yes, right?
Yeah,
Makes
I
you
think
think.
you'll take some chances. I mean, I think from last year I learned not to pick risky players. So if you've got a good set, solid players in the early rounds, who are not considered really the risky picks, then I'll take my chances with Gordon Hayward past the 100. And then maybe, but expect him to play half a season. because he always does play half a season, right? He doesn't finish the season.
Well, if you expect him to play half a season, even 100 is too high for him.
Is it?
I mean, you should hope for maybe 62 games at least, or 60 games from Hayward. If you're gonna pick him at 105 or 10, that's still like seventh round in 14 team leagues. Still 7 to 8 rounds, still
Right.
early.
Center is going to be a challenge because Mason Plumlee is the guy there. Not much depth, not
Mhm.
much name value, I guess. Is there anyone who you think could surprise us there?
Mark Williams
Or any
before the
other
draft.
players, or any other players that could surprise us.
Yeah,
James
Mark
Bouknight,
Williams
maybe.
before. No, not that high on book night. And not the others.
But you
It's
were
really
saying Mark Williams.
Mark Williams before the draft. People were always in the mock drafts. That's the one. That's the one pick that people got right. Everybody, CNN, SI, NBA draft. It's always Charlotte Mark Williams because he's exactly the center that LaMelo loves. He's 7'2" with 7'7" wingspan, who's uber athletic and blocks and just dunks and does nothing else. So that's perfect for LaMelo. So I see a chance. He did suck in the summer league though, but but it's a summer
Come
league,
on,
so
if he
maybe
sucked in the summer league, what do we expect in the
well
regular
maybe
season?
maybe he's just not used to the pro situation yet. But he's from Duke, so maybe he was coached well
He should
by
be
Coach
pro
K. I
ready.
think Mark Williams would be someone to consider. I'm not high on Book Night. I may even look at Jalen McDaniels. You mentioned him a while ago over Book Night, and then if not, Kai Jones. Kai Jones is another first rounder last year. Is another big guy, another guy to consider. But outside of them, not
Yeah.
much
So
else.
Charlotte is probably 4 to 5 man deep when it comes to drafts. LaMelo, Rozier, Hayward, maybe PJ Washington, and Jalen McDaniel. Deeper leagues, you could
Yeah,
consider Oubre. Oubre's been solid as
yeah,
well.
late round.